Help! My company's offering a retirement package and I have 2 days in which to make a decision. I don't know what to do. Help! All right, so we'll read from Maggie writes in just the other day, and she says, Josh, I've been watching a lot of your videos recently. I've been at a successful company for nearly 3 decades. They just announced a retirement package out of the blue, and now I'm faced with the decision of whether or not to stay or to go. I have $387,000 in a pension and $150,000 in a 401k. My financial advisor thinks I could run out of money before I die unless I get a job with a company, stay on essentially, that pays me $4K a month. This seems ridiculous as I know I can live off much less. I'm also concerned about the fee I'll pay them to manage my money. Can I do this on my own? Do I need to charge someone to charge me 1% just to meet with them once a year? No. I have a deadline of here in the next couple of days in which to decide. I hoped by now I'd be leaning in one direction, but it seems like the more I talk to these guys, the more questions I have than answers. All right, Maggie, so let's talk about this. This is a big deal. The first thing I'd ask you is, are you happy with what you do? Do you like your company? You said it's a successful company. I mean, so you didn't say anything implying that you're miserable. So I'm assuming you like it. All right, so let's just say you do like your job. Now it's a question of, can you retire financially, and if you want to or not, because you do like your company. So if you like it, this is a whole different ball of wax. But let's just say you're not, you're okay, but you wouldn't mind taking a break. So let's go over this. We got $387 in a pension, and I'm going to assume you can roll that over, plus $150 in a 401k. So we add these two together, we got, what's that, 5, 7, 13, 537. Oops. 537 is what we have in our retirement accounts. And I have no idea if you have other money or not. All right, so just from starters, the first thing I do is, okay, we can take 5% a year off this for simplicity. And everyone says 4%. I don't buy that 4% rule, neither should you. So we're going to say 5% a year off that 537. All right, times 0.05. Oops, that gives us 26,000, we'll just say 27,000 a year. All right, now, the real question comes in, how much do you need, though? I mean, if you need $4,000 a month, well, it's going to be easy. I'm just telling you right now. I don't know. So we don't know that. But let's just say you need $4,000 a month because your financial advisor is saying you need a job that pays $4,000 a month. That assumes to tell me that's what you're living on right now. So if that's the case, that means you've basically been living on $50,000 a year is what I'm going to assume. And you say you can live with less. I don't want you necessarily to have to live with less unless you want to. But basically I'm saying, look, we've got to make up, if we're living on roughly $4,000 a month now, and we're going to keep our same living expenditures, and look, I'm going to show you how you can make this happen without even blinking an eye. It's just going to be that easy. So if we're living off $50,000 a year, and let's just say we've been averaging that throughout our lifetime, and that was what our Social Security numbers are based on. Does that make sense? So this is your average yearly earnings, your average yearly indexed earnings, $50,000 a year. So what we do is we take $50,000, divide that by 12, and we get $41.66 a month. All right. Now the first 926 is the first bend point, and whatever 4166 minus 926 is, that's 3240. So remember, we're trying to get the difference between what we need and what we can get from a 5% distribution rate. I'm even comfortable with saying 5.5 to 6, but we're not going to need to do that. So 4166 minus 926 is 3240. All right. So we know the first bend point is 926 times 0.9 and 3240 times 0.32, and that will give us times 0.32. But 3240 times 0.32, that gives us 833 plus 1036. You can see that, plus 833. So our Social Security benefit will be $1869 at our full retirement age. And I don't know if that's 66 or 67, but that's going to be your FRA. So we times that by 12, and that gives us 22,400. All right. So 22,400 plus 27,400 is what? 22,400 plus 27,400 equals 49,837. I mean, literally, it's literally that simple. You're saying, okay, I've been living off $50,000 a year the bulk of my life. That's going to be my average yearly indexed earnings. Now we divide that by 12 to get our average index monthly earnings, which is what our primary insurance amount is based on. Our PIA, the first 926 of the AIME, is times by 90%. The second amount is times by 0.32. We add those two up. We get a monthly benefit at our full retirement age of 1,869. Times that by 12, we get a total benefit at our full retirement age of 22,400. We take our 537 and we just pull 5% a year out. And we got a benefit of that, 27,000, plus our Social Security, which gives us 49,837, which is exactly what we've been living off before. But the irony of it is what we've been living off before, we had to take out 7.65 for FICA, probably 10%, maybe 5 to 10% 401k contribution, and you got to pay your state and federal taxes as well. And so this would actually be 40,000 net of taxes. So here we're actually 10,000 bucks a month ahead, simply because we don't have to pay those taxes. It's literally that simple. It's no big deal. And now, look, can you do more here? Can you annuitize and all that stuff? Yeah, absolutely. Secondly, you shouldn't pay a financial advisor one. I'm just telling you, because if you did, that would only be 4%. You're still taking a 5% withdrawal, but only 4% is coming back to you. So let's change this numbers. And this is what that ticks me off. You can take 5% a year out. Yeah, well, you can. If you're paying some guy 1%, you're taking 6% a year out. I mean, so you can take 5% a year out. Well, if you're paying a guy 1%, the 5%, the 1% you're paying him is coming out of that 5. So now we got to take. So remember, it's 27,000 right now on that 4%. So now we got to pay 537 times 0.04. It went down to 21,480. That's almost $6,000 a year you're paying. That's $500 a month. Why would anyone? This is what I'm saying. I don't know why anyone would do that. Why would you pay $500 a month and now you're jeopardized your entirety of your ability to retire because you're paying some guy 1%, which is just coming out of your retirement. It's just literally coming out of your money. They're not going to do better. And it's just that. I mean, that ship has sailed so long ago. The idea that you're going to pay some guy 1% to do better for you. And now you hear, well, I'm a behavioral manager. I'll manage you so not making stupid mistakes. I hate that too. The implication is that guy's smart. You guys, the average consumer is like, oh my goodness, Trump, Obama, I got to get out of the market. Look, do some people do that? Yeah. Have I seen it very often? No. I've seen a heck of a lot more financial advisors get all upset about the markets than actually the consumers that hire them. Because the financial advisors are in it all the time. The best thing you can do is not turn on the freaking news. Oh. Anyway, so that's it. You're good. We haven't done anything. We haven't done any planning at all other than saying, how much do we need? Well, if you're living off $4,000 a month, that's roughly $50,000 a year. Again, I don't know what your Social Security benefit is. My inclination is probably right around that, I bet. I don't know what your expenditures are. My inclination is probably right around that, I bet, simply because the guy wants you to make a job making $4,000 a month, which is probably what you're making now. And he's saying, look, you got to keep up that lifestyle. Thus, if you retire now, you're going to run out of money. And why am I taking 5% a year off? Simple, because the 4% rule was the absolute safest withdrawal you could take without one time run down of money. Or maybe I can't remember, like 2 times, whatever. I just don't care. The numbers are so old, antiquated, based on current market valuations, it's meaningless. So I say 5% a year. If it turns out the market's dip 10% to 20%, well, don't take 5%, take 4% out. But the interesting thing is, again, this is what's going to happen with your income. You're going to go here, and it's going to go down. That's why I'm so flippant about the 5% or 4% or 6%, because this assumes, all these things assumes that your income goes up like that on the regular trajectory. And it doesn't work like that. It works the exact opposite. So now we got this big gap between reality and what financial planners are going to tell you, so that way it keep you in your crappy old job. Don't do it. All right, hope this helps. Good luck to you. See ya.